Ryan Nickel with Kevin Rohde at Englewood High School in Denver, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs are getting ready to take on the Englewood Pirates. The opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs.
Well, just like last week, Fort Morgan will start off with the ball and get out there and see what Englewood's defense is all about. I'm guessing that they're going to be big up the middle, but a little bit slow. I think Coach Chisholm talked about that. And maybe we'll see things on the outside. You had had kind of an injury report on Jared Bohm.
Jared Bohm, yeah, he had went out last week in the, I remember his first quarter, second quarter, had a dislocated ring finger, and that has been taken care of. They have it splinted up and wrapped, and he's ready to go. He's been practicing all week with it, so he shouldn't have any problem. So he Mustangs should be full power tonight and get ready to take on these Pirates. As we get the go from the referee, it's a low kick to the 25, to the 30, 35, 40, and stood up about the 42-yard line. So nice return for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, a little different than we saw last week on a short kick like that. I don't know if it was the same athlete, but on that play, he just caught the ball and went down to make sure that he didn't fumble. This time he took it upfield and gained about 15 yards of field position for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was a nice run back. So starting at their own 42-yard line, the Fort Morgan Mustangs have a T formation, one receiver split right, none left. I have a tight end on this side. It's going to be a pitch wide right to Jared Bowman. He's got the corner out there to the 45, to the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jared Bowman. First play of the game, Jared Bowman takes it in from 58 yards out. Couldn't ask for a better way to start the game than that right there.
Maybe Jared's trying to make up for last week when he didn't get very many carries, but he went around the edge and there really wasn't much for him to do. He had 4 blockers and 1 defender, and he made the right cut about 10 yards downfield. Took it to the house. Very nice.
So looks like Coach Chisholm had it pegged right there when he was talking about in the pregame show about being able to run wide on him. So now Franny Gonzalez in to try the extra point. Down, kick is up and looks good. And it is good. Franny Gonzalez with the extra point. So 11:42 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan 7, Englewood nothing on B106 and B106.com. Okay, back in Englewood High School where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have just gone up on the Englewood Pirates up by a score of 7-0 on a sweep right by Jared Bohm from 58 yards out. So Fort Morgan will be kicking off. Franny Gonzalez has it lined up at the 40.
If they score at this pace all game, it'll end up 150 or 1,050 to nothing.
Nice deep kick by Franny. Clear back to inside the 5, out to the 10, 15, and it's going to be brought down inside the 20. So nice coverage there by the Mustang special teams. Looks like it's going to be about the 18-yard line, we'll call it, for the Pirates. So we'll see what the Fort Morgan defense can do now against the Englewood Pirates.
Fort Morgan in their all-white uniforms with cardinal or maroon numbers. They seem excited on the sidelines there, Brian.
Yeah, they act like they got them some vim and vigor going tonight. They're ready to play this game. Okay, handoff over the right side for Englewood. He gets it out across the 20 to the 21, so that's going to be a gain of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Pirates from the 21-yard line.
It's a new runner that we haven't seen, at least I don't have in my stats, running the ball, Sam Vogel, a junior.
So Englewood comes out split backfield, one receiver split right. or left, excuse me. Takes the snap, hands it off. It was a pitch back, and nice coverage there by the Mustangs as Alexander Perez was in the backfield and made it for a no gain. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 7 from the 21. Nice deep, nice penetration by Alexander Perez.
And another runner that hasn't carried the ball much, Medina, on that carry.
So Fort Morgan standing strong right now. Englewood with the ball. Fades back to pass. Looks out here to the corner. It's going to be intercepted and going to be taken back to the end zone. And that's going to be a touchdown return by Isaiah Lopez. It was a pass out into the right flat, and he stepped in front of the receiver and took it back to the house. So that puts Fort Morgan now up 13-0 with 10:14 to go in the first period.
Now, Brian, I'm honest. I was joking about the 1,000 to 50, but that's 2 scores in less than 40 seconds.
I won't have enough paper here to write everything down on if they keep this up. But what a read on that.
And that was number 9 Anderson, wasn't it? I'm not sure I caught the number. Or was it Lopez?
It was Alexander Lopez.
All right. Yeah, 2 looks a lot like 9 from this distance.
So Franny Gonzalez now in to attempt the extra point. Down, they're going to call, got a flag, and let's see who they call it on. It's going to be offsides on Englewood or offsides on Englewood. See if Fort Morgan wants to go for it or if they're going to continue to kick.
Yeah, dead ball foul, unfortunately. In high school, they don't get the choice of taking the good field goal or the good extra point and putting it on the kick. I guess maybe they can kick from the same spot and put it on the kickoff. But
so Franny lined up again at the 10. Ball down, kick up, and it is good. 10:14 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan 14, Englewood nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Englewood High School, Fort Morgan 14, Englewood nothing. After an interception return of about 25 yards, puts Fort Morgan up by 2 touchdowns. So Franny Gonzalez now lining it up on the 40 again.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Lopez.
So nice deep kick again. This time at about the 10, out to the 15, to the 20, 25. And that's about where he's going to go down at. So that's going to be Pirates first down again at the 25-yard line. So Englewood has some work to do now to try to even get back in the ball game without even 2 minutes going off the clock yet.
So we mentioned before the game that the lighting system isn't real good. That they're not necessarily playing in shadows, but it's just not real bright out on that field.
So a handoff, or not a handoff, he was going to try to hand off, came back from center, and he's going to be dropped for about a 2-yard loss to the 23. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 12 from the 23-yard line.
I think the Fort Morgan defense is smelling a victory, and kids on the sidelines are staying loose because they don't know how early they're going to be in getting to play.
So we're going to call that a 1-yard loss. Looks like they put it on the 20, on the 24. So we'll call it a 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 24. Full house backfield, handoff over the left side, and he is met in the backfield. And I think that was Justin Wilgenberg that took him down. Excuse me, it was number 77, and that was Henry Weimer. And that was a loss back to the 20. So now it's going to bring up 3rd and 15 from the 20. I think the Fort Morgan defense is, of course, what we had also learned earlier was that Englewood runs almost the same type of offense that Fort Morgan does, so they're pretty used to it. So it's a pitch out to the right side, and he is going to be brought down at the 21, we're going to call it the 22-yard line. So nice defensive stop here by the Mustangs. So that's going to bring up 4th and 13 from the 22.
Now we'll see their special teams out punting. First punt of the game. Great defensive stand again by the Mustangs.
Kyle Daniel stands back about his 43-yard line, waiting to receive the punt. Nice punt. It's a real short punt. We'll see where it lands. Fort Morgan. Then it takes a backwards roll. It doesn't even cross out to the 40-yard line. So great field position for the Mustangs as they will start on the Englewood 37-yard line.
Yeah, huge field position mistake there by the Englewood punter to not get that ball farther downfield. Let's hope these kids keep trying and no one gets hurt, because you get out in a situation like this where they start quitting down 14-0 with 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
So Fort Morgan, 1st and 10 from 37, a handoff to McBride over the right side, and he's still fighting, gets down across the 35. He'll get down to the 34-yard line for the Mustangs. So that will bring up second down and about 7 from the 34-yard line.
Englewood with some big kids in the middle. They got left tackle at 260, nose guard at 290, and another kid out on the end is a little bit smaller at 155.
So Fort Morgan, 2nd and 7. It's a handoff over the left side to Bohm, and Bohm cuts it out. And he's down to the 20, down to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Jared Bohm. He cuts it out to the left side. Had a nice block on the outside by Wes Anderson, and he sprung him loose, and Jared Bohm did the rest, going 34 yards there for the touchdown. So 20-0 with 7:12 to go in the first period. If this keeps up, we'll be at the running clock before the end of the first period almost. It was 40 points, I believe, is the running clock. So this kick is up and also good. So that makes the score 21-0. Fort Morgan with 7:12 to go in the first period on B106 and B106.com. With Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel back at Englewood High School, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead Englewood 21-0 with 7:12 to go in the first period. 2 touchdowns by the offense, 1 touchdown by the defense. And Franny Gonzalez, nice deep kick over to the corner, and it's down about the 5 and bouncing around, and kid picks it up at the 10, and then he is dropped. They're going to mark it. We're going to say it's at the 14-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 14 for Englewood with 7:06 to go in the first period.
Brian, what do you call when you're down 21-0 at 7 minutes in the first quarter and you got the ball way back on your own 13?
They probably figure it's still early enough. You're going to have to stick with whatever your game plan was to come in, because the kid that their top receiver, from what we understand, is hurt and not playing tonight. So somebody's going to have to step up for Englewood to try to get back into this. So that's a handoff up the middle. And we're going to the 17, I believe. So that will be second down for the Mustangs. 3-yard gain, so 2nd and 7 for Englewood, as the Fort Morgan defense has stifled Englewood so far in this game. So 2nd and 7. Englewood, 2 receivers left, 2 backs in the backfield. It's a pitch in the backfield and brought down again by Henry Weimer. Had initial penetration, I believe, by Eric Kimball, and then Henry Weimer brought him down, and that's going to be a loss back to the 16-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 8 from the 16 for Englewood. So nice defensive pressure here by the Mustangs. Englewood tried to go wide on that one, and it might not have been Eric Kimball. I'm going to say Jared Bohm is playing that right defensive end right now. So Fort Morgan holding Englewood right now. So have one receiver left, two backs, drops back. It's going to be a draw play, but the ball has come out, and we'll see who has covered it. And Fort Morgan has taken over on a fumble by Englewood. So 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line for Fort Morgan with 5:35 to go in the first period. So this is turned ugly real quick here for the Pirates. And it'll really get ugly here if Fort Morgan puts it into the end zone like they have in the first two possessions.
Well, they've had 3 plays and 2 of them gone for touchdowns, so I don't think Englewood's going to put up much of a challenge here.
So full house backfield. Handoff over around the left end, and it's going to be to Jose Fadoa, and he's down to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to be in for a touchdown. Unbelievable. Jose Fadoa from...
Make that 3 for 4.
Man, that is unbelievable what Fort Morgan is doing to the Englewood Pirates tonight. So right now, 27-0. For the Mustangs, Franny Gonzalez lining up for the extra point. So Franny Gonzalez, we get the snap down, kick up, and it looks like it is good again. So with 5:26 to go in the first period, Fort Morgan 28, Englewood nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Englewood High School, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have taken control of this game early, 28-0 with 5:26 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan just scoring on a Jose Fadoa 17-yard run. Now a kickoff by Franny Gonzalez down to the 10, out to the 15, out to the 20, and tripped up there by Jose Fadoa. And so Englewood will take over at the 23-yard line with 5:21 to go in the first period.
Absolutely. Fadoa on one end of the field goes down and scores, and then the next play he's down, making the tackle on a kickoff. Fort Morgan has a lot of players that play special teams in both sides of the defense. You talked about Bohm playing defensive end on the far side. Fort Morgan in a 5-3 with the weak side end coming back off the line a little bit. I guess maybe more of a 5-2.
So drops back to pass, and he gets the pressure, pass over the middle, and it's going to be caught. So nice play there by Englewood, and he gets it out to the 29-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 6. So I'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the 29.
That's their first real positive play. They've had a run of 3 and a run of 2. That pass for 6 is, going to give them maybe a little more confidence.
So 4:50 and counting in the first period. Fort Morgan 28, Englewood nothing. Englewood up to the line of scrimmage. Backfield receivers left and right. And pitch back to the right and then cut up to the middle. And that play is going nowhere. That was a loss. Going to be back to, let's see if they mark it about the 27-yard line. So that's going to be a loss of 2 back to the 27. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 from the 27. So nice penetration by the Fort Morgan Mustangs defense. Englewood hasn't been able to run the ball at all. So I formation, receivers left and right. Takes it, hands off the right side this time, and he is going to be hit at the 25, and then we'll see it's going to be just about the 27, so that's not going to, it'll be a no gain, so they're going to put it at the 27. So 4th and 6 from the 27.
First carry for Burr Sagal. And at what point do you stop punting when you're down by 28 and the last punt got you a net of 10 yards?
So Fort Morgan has two back about the 40-yard line, and that is Kyle Daniels. And I'm not sure just who the other kid is out there. Kyle Daniels, they're going to let it bounce at the 50, and it's going to roll dead at the Fort Morgan 47-yard line with 3:12 to go in the first period. Fort Morgan leading 28-0.
Kind of takes me back in time to 1981. I was in college. I know it's hard to believe I'm that old, folks, but came down from CSU. Fort Collins came down to the CU game. They were playing Oklahoma, and Oklahoma was pretty good back then. And the game ended up 84-42. I don't think this one's going to have 42 for the Pirates, but we were betting, are they going to score on the first play or the second play this drive?
So actually they got it out at the 48-yard line, and this handoff to Toby McBride over the right side to the 50 to the 45. Breaks that tackle down inside the 40, and that'll be enough for a first down. Down to the 38-yard line of the Englewood Pirates.
Don't seem to really want to take him on that run.
So 1st and 10 from the 38. Let's see what we got going here. We have an injury timeout for Englewood, number 66, and that is Ben McFarland, a 6'2", 225-pound defensive end. He was back here behind the play after that last play and then hobbled up to the line of scrimmage, but they got him out of there now. So Morgan receivers left and right, I backfield. Schneider under center. Snyder's going to hand off over the left side to Bohm again, and he gets it down to about the 31-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of 7. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 3 from the 31-yard line for the Mustangs.
A moral victory for Englewood. They've forced a third down for the first time. No, I guess that isn't a second down, but they forced a drive to go to 3 plays. Englewood in kind of a 4-4 shifted over. They're not stacking their linebackers. They're shifting towards the strong side of the formation.
So Fort Morgan I formation. Kimball wide right. Anderson split left. Schneider under center. 2:02 counting in the first period. Schneider goes back to pass, and he lobs it out here to the right. And to McBride inside the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20. So a nice little pass out into the flat to McBride, and then he takes it down to the 18-yard line of Englewood. Nice pass there by quarterback Joey Schneider.
It's nice to see Schneider getting in on some of the fun. Every single play for Fort Morgan has been positive. And this is just what we need building up to 2 weeks from now when we take on Elizabeth.
This is what some of the things they were also saying in the pregame show that Chisholm was saying he would like to get like maybe a 3 or 4 yard pass through his receivers, and then they can take it the rest of the way just to get Joey into a rhythm of some type passing the ball. So handoff up the middle this time, down inside the 10. And I believe that is going to be number 42, Cody Birch. So he takes it down to the 10, so that is going to be an 8-yard gain. So 2nd and 2 for the Mustangs from the 10-yard line. 1:07 counting in the first period.
Coach already substituting in some of the players that we saw last week.
Fort Morgan in the I formation. Receivers left and right. Handoff up the middle again, and that's to Cody Birch again. Strong run. He gets it down inside the 5, down to the 2. So another first down for the Fort Morgan Mustangs on a run of 9 down to the 1-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Mustangs from the 1-yard line.
Nice to see Birch get the chance to march it in since he got it so close on that last play.
So Fort Morgan 1st and goal from the 1. 30 seconds and counting in the first period. Fort Morgan up 28-0. Schneider under center. Receivers left and right. Takes the handoff, and it's a keeper out here to the left, and he's going to keep it. Joey Schneider's going to score the touchdown for the Mustangs. with 12 seconds to go in the first period, Joey Schneider takes it in from 1 yard out for another touchdown for the Mustangs.
If I'm not incorrect on this, I think that's his first rushing touchdown of the season, and it's good to see coaches getting him involved as well.
Yeah, that was good. They'd been taking they took the bite on the running back up the middle, and he was wide open coming out to the left. So now we have 12 seconds to go in the first period. Another kick up and also good. So with 12 seconds to go in the first period, Fort Morgan 35, Englewood nothing. And I should have done this about 10 minutes ago, but the first Fort Morgan score of the game is brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. When you need banking advice, stop by and see one of their loan officers Monday through Friday at 321 Ensign. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference.
I know we've mentioned in the past our sponsors, but folks out there, we sure would appreciate it if you patronize our sponsors, because that's what allows us to come have fun and bring you the game from far distance and cold fields like tonight. So we appreciate all our sponsors.
So Freddie Gonzalez lining up again from the 40-yard line. Freddie Gonzalez doing an excellent job for the Mustangs tonight. So Gonzalez approaches the ball, kicks it down to a nice kick, lands at about the 15, and it's going to end up going out of bounds. So that's the best thing that's happened to Englewood tonight.
And Fort Morgan's first real miscue. And you think on probably 9 out of 10 kicks like that, they would have fielded it and tried to head upfield. The kids wisely predicted that it was going out of bounds, and it was a smart move because now they get the ball out on the 35.
So 1st and 10 for the Pirates. From the 35 with 12 seconds to go in the first period, Fort Morgan up 35-0. And Englewood, they just did start the play clock, so they have plenty of time.
Fort Morgan subbing on defense already to a certain degree.
So Englewood split left and right, wide receivers left and right, I formation, turns and hands it off over the left side, and he is going to be met. Let's see, they're going to get him out to the 37-yard line. That's going to be the end of the first period. So at the end of one, it's the Fort Morgan Mustangs 35, Englewood Pirates nothing on B106 and B106.com. Back at Englewood High School with Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. Start of the second period, Fort Morgan leading 35-0. Yes, that's right, 35-0 for the Mustangs. So Englewood up now with 2nd and 8 from the 37-yard line. Takes a snap up the middle and gets some positive yardage there. He's going to take it clear out to almost, not quite the 45, so it's going to be just short of the first down. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Let's see where they're marking it at. Mark it at the 44-yard line. So 3rd and 1 from the 44 for Englewood.
Nice run for Medina on that play. They're close to getting their first down of the game.
So full house backfield, one receiver left. Handoff over the right side. He is met in the backfield by Oreo Canas. That is a loss of 4 back to the 40. So that's going to bring up 4th and 5 from the 40. I think Oreo Canas was untouched as he came through that offensive line and sacked that and dropped that runner for a 4-yard loss.
Not just a great defensive play, but last week's homecoming king as well.
Yep.
From what I understand, there's a record crowd at the homecoming dance, and everything went really well and we're positive. And the teachers at the high school are really excited about school this year.
Well, they have a lot to be excited about. 4th down here on a punt and gets it off, and it's going to be taken and a fair catch by Kyle Daniels at their own 37-yard line.
Englewood's best punt of the night. Got a little bit of field position out of it.
Ran about a minute and a half off the clock on that possession. So Fort Morgan now, 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. So we'll see what they come up with here. So Fort Morgan receivers left and right, I backfield. Schneider under center. Still calling out the plays. Hands off. Oh, it's a keeper around the right end. And it's a pitch out to Jared Bowman. He takes it down across midfield into Englewood territory. And that's going to be down to the 47-yard line of Englewood. So nice run there by Jared Bowman as he takes a pitch from Snyder.
Snyder almost waiting too long. He was just about to be tackled from behind when he pitched that. But it was good timing. He got the ball where it needed to be, and Bowman had a really nice run.
So Fort Morgan crosses midfield into Englewood territory. Receivers left and right. I backfield. Takes it and throws it out to Daniels out in the left flat, out to the 45. And he is stripped of the ball and fumbles it. And Englewood comes up with the ball at their own 45-yard line. So not what Kyle Daniels wanted to happen there. So 1st and 10 for the Pirates from their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, he had about 3 yards on that pass before he fumbled it. And the defender, much taller player, clearly wasn't trying to tackle and just ran up from behind and grabbed him and stripped the ball. Smart play by number 8.
So 1st and 10 from their own 45. Full house backfield, handoff right up the middle. He breaks down to the 45, down to the 40 of the Mustangs. So there was a hole up the middle there. And the Mustangs give up the longest run of the night so far to the Englewood Pirates, or for the Englewood Pirates anyway, down to the 39-yard line.
I believe that's their first down as well of the night.
So full house backfield again. One receiver split left. Takes the snap, hands off to the tailback this time, and he is met by Oreo Canas once again. And that is going to be for a no gain. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 39 for the Englewood Pirates. So Fort Morgan defense standing stout right now. The quarterback for the Englewood Pirates is Isaiah Maestas, a 5'9" senior, 140 pounds. So not a real big kid. So receivers left and right, I backfield. Hand off to the fullback. Hit up front. He fumbles the ball. And picked up this time by, I think Englewood fell back on the ball. Yeah, so it will be 3rd down. 3rd and 9. They gained a yard on that one. 3rd and 9 from the 38. So Fort Morgan forcing the fumble, just couldn't get on it. So now 3rd and 9 from the 39 for Englewood with 8:17 to go in the second period. Fort Morgan up 35-0. I backfield. He takes it, hands off to the deep back, down to the 35. And that's where he's going to go down. Somersaulted there, I believe Aurelio Canas tripped him up. He gets down to the 34-yard line. So that's going to be 4th and 5 from the 34 for the Pirates. From the 34-yard line.
And now we're 4-down territory for Englewood in Mustang territory. Down 35-0 with almost half of the second quarter over with already.
So full house backfield, one receiver split left. Takes it. Looks to pass, and he is going to be brought down on a sack. And we have Henry Weimer back there, and Oreo Canas, and Alexander Perez. There was a host of Mustangs back there. Masons had no time to get that ball off. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs on the on the turnover by downs by Englewood. So 1st and 10 with 7:24 to go in the second period. Mustangs on their 43-yard line. Fort Morgan full house backfield. Handoff, it's a pitch back, to Jared Bohm around the outside edge. He's to the 45, to the 50, the 45, and he's still struggling. He gets it down inside the Englewood territory. He gets it down to the 41-yard line, so that'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs in Pirate territory at the 41-yard line. So nice outside run there by Jared Bohm.
Really nice job of sealing the corner there on the outside. I didn't catch the number, but the wide receiver on this side did a really good job of springing them and letting them get outside.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs with Austin Cosman as a tight end on the right side. Full house backfield, and it's going to be a pitch to the backfield to Elliott Wuncher on the left side, down to the 40, down to the 35, and then taken hard out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down for the Mustangs. About a 2nd and 3 for the Mustangs from the 34-yard line.
Englewood with no real answer for Fort Morgan's rushing game. Roughly looking, there's 11 carries, and only 2 of them have been for less than 5 yards, and one of those was the 1-yard touchdown by Schneider.
So Schneider under center, no receivers split. Handoff up the middle to McBride this time, and he gets it down inside the 30, and that will be enough for a 1st down. He gets it down to the 29-yard line. So that's a gain of 5 for McBride as he pounds it hard up the middle.
Not that we need to score now, but I think a play action dump over to the tight end releasing downfield would be an easy 6 points. Get them involved in the game as well.
So 1st and 10 from the 29 for the Mustangs. Full house backfield. Schneider under center. Pitches it back to Elliott Wunch again. He gets back not quite to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be dropped at the 30. Not a lot of room out there on the right side to run that time. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 from the 30 on that 1-yard loss.
That time number 84, who's not listed on their roster, the left defensive end, did a really good job of stringing it out and forcing him to turn back in where he had the help of the rest of his team to make the tackle for a loss.
So 2nd 11, 5:48 counting in the second period. Fort Morgan 35, Englewood nothing. Full house backfield for the Mustangs. Schneider tries to draw him off sides, does not, to Bohm over the left side. He breaks the tackle. He gets it down inside the 25 to the 20 to the 15 to the 10, down to the 5-yard line. Jared Bohm finally taken out of bounds. It looks like he is going to be out at the 8-yard line. If I'm looking at it right there, it looks like so it'll be 1st and goal for the Mustangs from the 8-yard line. So full house backfield. Schneider under center, takes a snap and pitches it. Schneider kept it. I did not see where it had gone. Schneider kept it up the middle. He fake pitched it and then kept it up the middle. And he gets it down to the 3-yard line, it looks like. So that's a gain of 5. So 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Not so sure that wasn't a broken play, that he turned to pitch and maybe one of the blockers was in his way and he just decided wisely to keep it and see what he could get out of it. Because usually if you're going to do that on purpose, he's going to peel off the other way and bootleg it away from the action.
So 2nd and goal from the 3. Handoff to Jared Bohm again, and he is into the end zone for another Fort Morgan touchdown. So Jared Bohm finds pay dirt once more at 4:38, and the clock will continue to run now as they are up 41-0. So continuous clock until that score gets back to within 40 points.
Baum's third touchdown on the day. First one at 58, then 34, then 3. Very nice evening for him. I'm glad to see he's back and not injured.
So Franny Gonzalez, snap down, kick up, and also good. So that brings the score, Fort Morgan 42, Englewood nothing, with 4:05 and counting in the second period on B106 and B106.com. Back at Englewood High School with Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel with 3:24 and counting in the second period. Fort Morgan 42, Englewood nothing. So when the spread gets more than 40 points, the clock will continue to run. The only time they will stop it is on a timeout or at the end of the quarter. So Franny Gonzalez now, the ball just fell off the tee, so they will line that up again. It just takes more time off the clock, I guess. They will line that up again.
You can tell he's a soccer player. He's out there dribbling the ball back and forth, trying to kick it up to his hands without reaching down. I don't see much of a breeze. Earlier, right before the game, we were kind of complaining about the breeze coming in from the north and right in our face. But at this point, it looks pretty calm. Too dark to see if any trees are moving in the distance.
So he'll try this again, gets his foot into it. Not quite as deep. It's going to come over to the right side, and they're going to let it bounce out again. So the only two penalties so far on the Mustangs have been the ball being kicked out of bounds on the kickoff. So once again, Englewood will take the ball at the 35-yard line, down 42-0 and a running clock. So 1st and 10. Pirates, they're going to see what they can do to try to get back into this game. Right now, there isn't much working for them. So 1st and 10. Masis under center, full house backfield with one receiver split right. Up under center with 1:40 to go in the second period. He hands off up the middle, and not much there. He's going to get about 3 out to the 38-yard line, so that'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the 38 for Englewood with 1:20 and counting in the first half.
Both Wade and Bersagel are running a little harder than they did in the first part. Of course, they were running more with Vogel and Medina earlier. Now they've kind of gone back to the kids that we thought they would be running to.
So 1 minute to go in the first half. Pirates handoff over the right side, and he is met in the backfield initially and then corralled by the rest of the Mustangs. That's going to be about a yard loss back to the 37. Actually be a 2-yard loss. Well, it'll be a yard loss back to the 37. So they'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Bersagel, as he was getting the ball handed off to him, was hit almost immediately. He broke through 2 defenders just to find 3 more circling in for the kill, and he was lucky to only lose 1 yard on that.
So Englewood, 3rd and 8 with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Handoff up the middle, and not much there. That's to number 5. That's Justin Wade. And the clock continues to run. We're under 10 seconds in the first half. So that looks like that's the way the first half is going to end. Fort Morgan 42, Englewood nothing on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel with Kevin Rohde back at Englewood High School. We'll give you the 3A Metro East standings. This was all non-conference. First night of conferences tonight. Elizabeth is at 3-2. Englewood is 3-2. Fort Morgan stands at 2-2. Wild Central 2-2. Vista Peak 2-3, and Skyview at 1-4. So tonight is the first night of conference play. We're going to catch up a little bit on some of the happenings of the other sports from the Fort Morgan High School this past week. Last Saturday, the cross-country boys and girls were at the Dave Sanders Invitational at Loveland. The boys came in 8th out of 24 teams. The girls were 13th out of 22 teams. So had a pretty good showing there for the Mustangs in cross-country. And they were supposed to be at Greeley today at Montfort Park, and whether they win or not, I don't know. That was supposed to be at 3:30. Volleyball, last Saturday, they won in 3 sets over Englewood, 25-10, 25-12, and 25-9. Tuesday night at Fort Lupton, they lost in 3 sets, 25-13, 25-14, and 25-16. Thursday night, they were home with Weld Central, and they won that in 5 sets, 25-16, 25-16, 18-25, 20-25, and 15-11. The girls are 6-7 overall, 4-2 in league play. Makes them third in the league standings right now. Soccer boys last Saturday beat Berthoud 3-2. Tuesday they beat Weld Central 6-2. And that makes them at 5-3-1 overall and 0-3 so far in league play. They do play tomorrow at 6:30 here at Englewood, and then they will play Tuesday at Skyview at 4 p.m. And then on Thursday they will be home with Roosevelt at 4 p.m. and they will play at Pioneer Elementary School. So a lot of things happening at the high school level. If you have time, make it out to any of the sporting events or whatever your child may be engaged in at the time, and go show their support. So,
absolutely. A few scores that I've found so far from our league. Elizabeth is beating Vista Peak 21-0. I don't know the time on that at all. I also have Brush beating Strasburg 20-6. Those of you who went and watched the Brush Platte Valley game, Platte Valley 7-7 versus Fort Lupton. Trying to quickly go through these scores provided by ColoradoPreps.com. I'm not seeing any of the other teams that Fort Morgan plays on here at all. I'm sure some of them probably play tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see here. The
Yep.
Weld Central is home with Skyview, and as you said, Vista Peaks at Elizabeth, and the other conference game is this one here. Englewood is home with Fort Morgan.
So just looking for that Weld Central game and not seeing that anywhere on here. Who are they playing?
Weld Central is playing home with Skyview.
Skyview. Well, it doesn't appear they have that score anywhere. So anyway, it's always nice to be able to have some idea what everybody else is doing. But what's more important is here the Mustangs are doing a great job on special teams, offense and defense. The kids are out there having a great time but not losing focus. And we'll have a short second half if Englewood isn't able to get on the board here, because I don't think they're going to be able to stop even our JV offense, which is what I expect them to have on the field second half.
Speaking of the JVs, they will be home Monday against this Englewood Pirate team. I would guess, I don't see a lot of JV kids here for Englewood. They only have 23 kids suited up, so it may be basically the same team you're seeing out here now. They'll come down and play the JVs, yeah, but that'll be at 4:30 at Legion Field.
Coach Edson said that they have mostly freshmen, and so according to him, prior to the game, they're going to play their JVs against Englewood, and then the following week against Skyview. It'll probably be the freshmen playing Skyview's freshman team. And so they got it lined up, ready to go, and 24 minutes left of football.
So Franny Gonzalez getting ready to do his thing, and he has done it well tonight. Credit to the front line also keeping the defenders out. So Franny Gonzalez with a nice deep kick. Down to inside the 5, out to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. Nope, didn't get to the 15. Kid saw that wall of Mustangs coming down, and he kind of put a halt on and was trying to go sideways, and that just doesn't work. So they're going to mark it out at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, his first error was when he caught the ball, they must have set up a return left, and he ran to the sideline about 15 yards before cutting up, and by then no one had maintained their blocks, and the Mustangs were there for a nice coverage on the kickoff.
So 1st and 10 looks like just inside the 13, so we'll call it the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 with the clock running. Englewood in a full house backfield, hands off over the left side, and not much there. They get it out to the 15-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 2. So that'll be 2nd and 8 from the 15 for the Pirates. So see who Mustangs have in front line. I see number 78, Jeremy Herrera on the front line. It's kind of hard to see with the numbers. They're kind of sideways to us here. So Englewood, receiver right, full house backfield. Handoff over the left side, and the kid gets outside. He's going down to the 40, down to the 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown, and that is Nick Bersagel that takes it the distance for the Englewood Pirates. Makes it 42-6, and the clock does keep running, or at the moment anyway. So Bersagel takes it from the 15 to the end zone for the Pirates.
And on that play, the Pirates got to the outside, and there was no one else home. And that was a nice run by Bersagel. And once he got outside, for a tall kid, he's 6'2", 175 pounds. He had some wheels. He pretty much left the defenders in the dust on that play. What little dust there is on an artificial turf.
If there was dust, he would have left him in it.
Yes.
So they're going for 2. Handoff over the left side to number 33, and he is not going to make it. He is brought down short of the goal line, so that's where the score stands. 42-6 in favor of the Mustangs with 9:30 and counting in the third period. We'll give you some of our sponsors here. State Farm Insurance. That's the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush. Help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call today, 842-4555. Premier Farm Credit is still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers. They understand and are passionate about agriculture and are dedicated to serving America in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending.
Well, that was a nice run, and now we'll see who's going to be playing offense for Fort Morgan. We answered the question that we had talked about off the air at half, is do they continue to run the clock even if the team gets within 40 again? And I think not, because you might keep the other team from playing your JVs if there's a chance that you're going to have to go back and start playing more.
So kickoff down to the 20 and taken up the middle out to the 30. And that was taken by number 31, and that is Frank Rosales, sophomore running back for the Mustangs. Nice 12-yard return, 13-yard return for the Mustangs, and we will see the backup quarterback, and that is Dylan Mugenberg, junior quarterback for the Mustangs, to take the controls.
And it's good to get some practice in there for him. I know Snyder's just a junior, and, barring all unforeseen circumstances, he'll probably start next year. But if he gets injured, we need to have Mugenberg with some experience.
So Fort Morgan in a full house backfield. Takes off and hands it off at the right side to Elliott Wunsch, I believe. And he is going to be brought down for a no gain. Yes, that was Elliott Wunsch. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 33 for the Mustangs as the clock continues to run.
They must have some of the JV linemen in there as well, because there certainly wasn't the kind of blocking that the starting running backs were getting first half.
See number 61, David Cox, is now into the game for the Mustangs. Full house backfield for the Mustangs. No receiver split. This time it's a handoff over the right side and then back up the middle, and that is number 37 that we have no name for. So we have the no-name Mustang, and he takes it up to the first yard marker and passed. He gets it out to the 46-yard line for a nice first down run.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't come up with names that aren't on the roster. But yeah, that was a nice run.
So 1st and 10 from the 47 for the Mustangs. 6:14 and counting. Handoff up the middle. Not much there. So actually, it was from the 46. It looks like they had marked it. So 1st and 10 from the 46. We'll give him a yard out on that run.
It looked like Fritzler in.
2nd and 9 from the 47. So a lot of basically the JV team, I think, that's out there playing now. So 2nd and 9 from the 47. Pitch back to Elliott Wunsch. He's hit in the backfield, but he is dropped back at the 45. So that's going to be a loss of 1 back to the 45. So that brings up, that'll bring up 3rd and 10. They put it out about the 46. So 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs from the 46-yard line. With 5 and 10 going and counting in the 3rd period. Englewood brings everybody up to the line of scrimmage except in the run, and it's going to be around the outside, and this time he gets it down to the 50, and I believe they said that is Tate Kimball, is what we were told earlier tonight. So Tate Kimball takes it out to the 50-yard line. So nice run there for Tate. So that brings up a 4th and 6 from the 50 for the Mustangs. So we'll see what the Mustangs are going to do here. They're going to kind of confused here. They may end up taking a. Nope. Okay. Tony Swetzik is into punt. 4:14 to go. And counting in the
illegal
third
formation. They got too many people off the line.
So kick by Swetzik, and it is down to the 23-yard line. Did they throw the flag on that?
Yeah, they did on the far side. The last minute, the left tight end backed up into the backfield and gave Fort Morgan 5 offensive backs. And in football, you have to have 7 guys on the line.
So the clock continues to run.
Englewood's going to decline that.
They don't want any more time running off the clock. They want the ball as much as they can right now.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe they really realize it's not going to make much difference. I don't know, hard to tell. But we'll see if Englewood can put together another scoring drive. Their first of the second half was 2 plays for 87 yards, 85 of that coming on Bursagel's nice run around the left end.
So 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line for the Pirates. Takes a handoff over the right side, and he is brought down at the 26-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 3. So they'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Pirates. 2:44 and counting in the 3rd period. Fort Morgan up 42-6.
Jeremy Herrera in, senior, playing on the right side of the line. Wunsch, I believe, playing nose guard, 42.
So receivers left and right, I formation for the Pirates. It's a pitch back to Bursagel. He gets around that outside edge, but then he is quickly corralled. And he'll get maybe to the 20, we'll say it's hard to tell, 27, 28-yard line. It's going to be the 28-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 2. So that brings up 3rd and 5 for Englewood.
Some other defenders out there blading. Pollitt, a junior, playing, he looks like left end, 84. Cody Carpenter playing left corner. 11, Kyle Daniels playing, looks like weak safety.
Englewood looks to throw and throws it downfield. Nice pass, and it's going to be caught, tipped and caught into the hands of the receiver, and he's going to take it in for a touchdown. That is number 24, Carlos Valdez, just over the head of the defensive back for the Mustangs. That Mustang receiver, defensive back, actually tipped the ball and right into the hands of Carlos Valdez for a touchdown for Englewood with a minute 15 to go in the third period. So nice pass play there by Englewood. 72-yard pass play for the touchdown.
Yeah, that goes to show that the varsity, put up these points against a team that wasn't, all that bad. I realize they're playing against JV now, but I don't think our varsity is necessarily that much better than the JV.
A roll out to the right. Now he's trying to find a receiver and looks deep into. It throws it way over his head. So the 2-point conversion is no good. So with 29 seconds to go in the third period, the score now 42-12 in favor of the Mustangs. The third period will come to an end here in about 15 seconds. So we'll see if they won't even get the kickoff on for the end of the third period. So at the end of 3, Fort Morgan 42, Englewood 12 on B106 and B106.com. Englewood tries an onside kick, but I believe they were offsides on the onside kick attempt.
And it's dead ball as soon as they cross that line ahead of the kick. It's called dead. So even though Fort Morgan did a good job of recovering.
So that just started the clock going for the Mustangs. So the fourth period has started, 42-12. So they'll set him back 5 yards to the 35. So we'll see if they try it. Got to get his tee and set it up on the 35.
Number 68, Kenny Galinas, a senior for the Pirates, 260-pound defensive and offensive lineman, kicking off for them as well.
So see if the onside kick is still in the plans here or if they're going to try and kick it away. When they do kick it away, it's going to be a short kick, and it's going to be taken at the 28, out to the 30, 35, 40, 45, and then smacked down at the 47-yard line, and that was Frank Rosales getting introduced to the Englewood special teams members.
I think Frank realized that you don't want to spin around and turn your back on a kickoff when guys are coming downfield full speed, because he got rocked with a shot to the back, but was able to hold on to the ball and got it out to the 46-yard line.
So 11:30 to go in the fourth period. Fort Morgan 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Full house backfield, no receivers. We have 2 tight ends. Going to be a handoff over the right side to number 41, Tate Kimball. He gets it down to the Englewood 45-yard line, so a gain of 9. So they'll bring up 2nd and 1. Well, they're going to mark it back about the 46, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 2 from the 46 of Englewood. Nice run there by Tate Kimball. So Fort Morgan into Englewood territory.
58, Auden Ray, a senior, in on offensive line.
So full house backfield, 2 tight ends. Handoff over the right side, this time to Kyle Daniels. He's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 49-yard line. So go ahead.
Good effort by Daniel on that one, but the blocking wasn't there. The defensive end turned it back in and had lots of help.
So that was a loss of 3 back to the 49. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs as the clock continues to run with 10 minutes to go in the game. Fort Morgan leading 42-12.
Jake Norris, a sophomore, in at right guard for the Mustangs.
So full house backfield. pitch back to Daniels again over the left side, and he gets it, just does get it back to the 50-yard. Actually, it's a loss of 1 to the 50. That's going to bring up 4th and 6 from the 50-yard line.
Tony's about to getting another chance to kick at this point. Some other the kids coming off. David Cox, a junior, coming off the field, was in on that last offensive play.
And number 36 also in, Jacob Fritzler. I think you might have mentioned him earlier. So good playing time here for the junior varsity kids. So snap low, but back to Swetzig. A nice kick this time. Drives him back to the 10, out to the 15. There will be a flag on that, a clip over on the far side. He runs it back out to the 26-yard line, but that will be brought back. There was a block in the back at about the 19-yard line.
The player who got blocked in the back is hobbling off. I think, hopefully he didn't hurt his leg too bad.
Eric Flugoff, number 29.
Jeremy Herrera, number 78, a senior going in on defensive line. Good to see some of these seniors that have put in their 4 years and may not help out the team playing on varsity all the time, but, they help out every night in practice, and it's good to reward them by giving them some playing time when you are up on a team.
So that penalty drops them back to the 9-yard line, I believe, is where they're at.
Another senior, number 5, junior Serta, out there in the defensive backfield.
So the Pirates take over with 7:50 to go in the game. A pitch out here to the left side. He gets it past the 10 to the 15 to the 20. There's a flag drop back at about the 8-yard line. So we'll see if that's going to come back for a hold. That's just exactly what it is, holding on Englewood. So that'll set them back half the distance. So that should put them about the 4-yard line, 4.5-yard line.
Now we're seeing a little sloppier play. Luckily, it's the Pirates that are being sloppy rather than Fort Morgan's JV. Still not a lot of penalties on Fort Morgan tonight.
It's been a real clean game for the Mustangs tonight. So that's going to bring up about 1st and 14 for Englewood from the 4. Handoff up the middle to Justin Wade. He gets it across the 5 out to about the 7-yard line. So that's going to bring up 2nd down for Englewood. 2nd and about 12.
Tough yardage against that Fort Morgan Mustang JV team.
So out from the 7-yard line, Englewood with the ball. Hands off over the left side. And not much running there. Pretty stout defense still for the Mustangs. Gets it out maybe to the 9-yard line. So we'll give him get back to the original line of scrimmage. So now it's 3rd and 10 for Englewood from the 9-yard line.
Some other Fort Morgan students that are in there. Brady Gibson, a sophomore, playing right corner. 23. It's like Travis O'Connor, a sophomore, playing right defensive tackle. 35, Hector Luna, a junior, playing strong safety.
Handoff over the right side this time. And that's going to be a loss of about 1. So that's going to bring up 4th down for the Pirates. So they're going to call it, they're going to be a loss of about 1. So it's going to bring up 4th and 11 from the 8-yard line for the Englewood Pirates with 5:15 and counting in the game. 42-12 Fort Morgan.
Good defensive stand by some of the younger kids and the second team seniors.
So Kyle Daniels stands at about the Englewood 35-yard line waiting for the punt. And high snap, but not over his head, and it bounces at the 30, and then it's going to be down at about the 32-yard line for the Mustangs. So some more sponsors we have are MMI International. Before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. They continually outperform our competitors hands down. Call them at 842-5161. Valley View Villa. Look to the team at Aspen Rehabilitation inside Valley View Villa for your sports rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. Stop by 815 Fremont or call them today, 867-8261. So Fort Morgan first in 10 from the 33-yard line. Man in motion going right, and they do pitch back to him. He is going to be escapes initially. This is our number 37. And he is going to be brought down for maybe a yard loss. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Mustangs from the 34-yard line.
Trying to pick up some more of the numbers for the Mustangs. They're just really hard to read in these lower level lights.
So puts man in motion to the left, pitches out to Tate Kimball. He breaks an initial tackle and then fights his way down, and they're going to give him forward progress to the 32-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 2. So that'll bring up almost 3rd and 10 again from the 32.
Number 98, Daniel Luna, a sophomore, playing on the offensive line at this point.
So 3 minutes and counting in the fourth period. Fort Morgan up 42-12. Running clock here as the JVs continue on offense. Tate Kimball in motion right to left. It's going to be a handoff this time over the right side, but not much there. And I did not see who that number 36,
Fritzler.
36. Jacob Fritzler, sophomore, takes it on that run across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. So that's going to bring up 4th and 6 from the 29-yard line of the Englewood Pirates. So receivers right and left, they're going forward here on 4th down. This looks like the flex formation that they ran last year. Tate Kimball in motion again. Pitches it left. He gets it outside down to the 25, down to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tate Kimball for the Fort Morgan Mustangs with 2 minutes to go in the game. And we are, I don't know, I don't see a flag. They're calling a block in the back, so it's coming back.
But the block wasn't thrown till way down at the 11-yard line. So clearly after it didn't have any impact on the game. You know, it's an unfortunate mistake by one of the probably receivers downfield thinking they were going to help. You can see why this Fort Morgan coaches are excited about this Tate Kimball, freshman coming in and running well. And that should close out the game because they should.
That brings it back for a first. The penalty was far enough downfield it will pick up a first down, but we're at a minute 15 and counting in the game.
So we'll give them 8 yards on the carry after the penalty.
So 1st and 10 from the 21. Going to be a pitch back this time to Tate Kimball again. He gets it across the 15, and he gets it down to the 10. We're going to call it the 11. They're going to see if it's a first down or not, but it's not going to make much difference. We're down to 48 seconds and counting in the game. So Tate Kimball getting some nice yardage here.
He ran like he wanted to get that touchdown back. Ran through several arm tackles. Should be able to get one more play off, Brian.
Yeah, we're at 32 seconds and counting. So Fort Morgan in there, flex formation, what they had run last year. So 1st and 10, they did give them a first down. So it's a handoff over to the right side, and that is going to be brought down. Going to be brought down for a loss. And that is Jacob Fritzler brought down for a loss to the 20, and that's going to close this game out. So at the end of the game, Fort Morgan domination 42-12 on V106 and V106.com. The Mustang postgame show is brought to you by High Plains Bank. Hometown service on a higher plane, that's High Plains Bank. Visit the friendly staff at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins for assistance in opening a loan, equity line of credit, or checking account. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank. With Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel back at Englewood High School, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs have defeated the Englewood Pirates 42-12 on a running clock from the middle of the first quarter, or middle of the second quarter, to the end of the game. So that makes the game go by quite quickly. So to recap the scoring before the game, Fort Morgan got the ball to start the game. First play, Jared Bohm goes 58 yards for the touchdown. Franny Gonzalez, extra point is good, makes it 7-0. On the next, the Pirates take over on their next possession, and an interception return of 25 yards by Isaiah Lopez makes it 13-0. Extra point 14-0 for the Mustangs with 11:53 to go in the first period. The next time the Mustangs have the ball, 2 plays, Jared Bohm takes it in from 34 yards out. Extra point good, 21-0 in favor of the Mustangs. Next possession by the Pirates, they fumble, recovered by the Mustangs. First play from scrimmage, Jose Fadoa takes it 17 yards for a Fort Morgan touchdown. Extra point also good, 28-0. With 12 seconds to go in the at the first period, Joey Schneider runs it in from 1 yard out. The extra point also good, 35-0. So at the end of the first period, 35-0 in favor of the Mustangs. With 7:24 to go in the second period, with the clock running, Jared Bohm takes it in from 3 yards out. Extra point also good, makes it 42-0, and that's the way the first half came to an end. In the second half, Fort Morgan did not score. The Pirates did get on the board a couple of times. The first possession by Englewood, Bersagel takes it 78 yards, I believe, for the touchdown. And the extra point is no good, so that makes it 42-6 in favor of the Mustangs. The next time that Englewood gets it, they score again. Extra point also no good, so that makes it 42-12, and that's where we end up tonight. At the end of the game, 42-12. Second half, it was all JVs for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Did a real good job holding their ground against the varsity of Englewood. So we'll go to Kevin here and get some stats for the game.
Right. Absolutely. Just to comment on how well the JV stood up. They gave up 2 big plays, but other than that, they did a good job on both defense and offense. Englewood ends up with a total of 197 yards, 167 of that coming in the second half. 71 of that, or 72 was on a touchdown pass. They end the night with 2 completions on 3 attempts for 71 yards and 7 runs for 126 yards, one of those being, I believe, an 85-yard run or something like that. That kind of skews the stats. But Fort Morgan, more importantly, let's hear about those Fort Morgan Mustangs. The same stats for all the varsity starters that they ended the first half with, not playing at all in the second half. Joey Snyder ends the night with 2 completions on 2 attempts, 100% completion rate there. 16 yards, I don't know whether there's a minimum for how many yards you have to, or passes you have to throw to get a quarterback rating, but I would think 100% accuracy would be pretty good on that. No interceptions, 2 runs for 6 yards total, one of those a 1-yard touchdown, so a nice night by Joey Snyder. Feeling much more comfortable in the pocket with the absence of any kind of pressure when he did pass. Jose Fadoa has the 1 run for 17 yards, which was a touchdown that you mentioned. Toby McBride, and I'm not sure on this completion whether it was him, but that's who I'm giving credit to, and I'm sure the official stats guys will have the right one, but I have him down for 1 completion for 13 yards and 3 carries for 23 yards. Jared Bohm, a great night coming back after the early injury in the last game, has touchdowns of 58, 34, and 3 yards. Ends the night with 6 carries for 148. Now for the second half, well, I guess some of these are still first half Wunsch ends up with 5 carries for 6 yards. Birch, 2 carries for 17 yards. Our mystery runner, number 37, which we will definitely need to get a name for next week, had 2 carries for 11 yards. Fritzler, 3 carries for -4. He lost 8 on that last play when he had no blocking and got caught way in the backfield, but ran hard the other 2 times when he had a chance to head upfield. Daniels has 2 carries for -4. He also didn't have the blocking that the varsity kids had. But I think the star of the second half has got to be Tate Kimball. Came in, ran for the 1 touchdown, and had it pulled back or called back because of a illegal block, and the illegal block was definitely behind the play. He'd already cleared everyone and was going in for a touchdown. Then came back and ran hard the next play to get a first down. He ends the night with 5 carries for 32 yards. Pretty good for a freshman running back. So Fort Morgan has a lot of positives coming out of this. Not a single missed extra point. Kickoffs, maybe we just need to tell Franny down the middle, because it's not that he's kicking it short and out of bounds. I think he's just kicking the ball, and we can work on that straight down the field. And other than that, I can't really see a great deal of improvement. I'm sure the coaches will go through the film and find, even in this kind of victory, mistakes, and that's what their job is to figure out exactly what little assignments are being missed and fix those, because against a better team, we would get caught for those mistakes. But a lot different feel than 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure you feel the same way. It's a lot more fun to watch and play the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been real entertaining to watch these kids play. Very few mistakes, as Kevin said. We had those ones right that push in the back, and I think there was one earlier. I can't remember what that was, but and really Englewood was had a pretty clean game too. They didn't have hardly any penalties either, so it was really a pretty clean game. It was just dominated by the Mustangs, and good way to start off the conference season. Now 1-0 now in conference, and it was a chilly night here in Englewood. I can see my breath here now, so we're probably down to about 32 degrees or so here at Englewood. Nice field out here, but it was a nice win by the Mustangs. Next week they will be home with Skyview at 7 p.m. So hope everybody can make it out and enjoy a good night of Fort Morgan Mustangs football. So to close this out tonight, the sound engineer and producer of Fort Morgan Mustangs football has been Braden Godin. The producer for Mustang Replay is Alan Lance, and the coordinating producer for high school football is Brandy Ingersoll. For Kevin Rohde, I'm Brian Nickel. The final score tonight, Fort Morgan 42, Englewood 12. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs football on B106 and B106.com.